This is what's pissing me off today. I'm Bob Pritchard. Well, if you've been tracking our news at all, you know that there was an assassination in the United States earlier this week. A guy named Charlie Kirk, who by all reports is a big supporter of Donald Trump, and who Trump believes was responsible for bringing a large number of young people to vote for him in the last U.S. presidential election. And when I call this an assassination, it's hard for us here in the Great White North to actually figure out exactly what goes on down there, because they have, well, quite bluntly, so many shootings to separate just somebody shooting somebody else from mass attacks at schools or workplaces or whatever. But at any rate, this one's being branded as an assassination because the person was speaking in support of Donald Trump, who was murdered. Ultimately, as we move forward, I think that this will become a watershed point in the Trump administration. And I say that because to this point, Trump has been, well, messing around with a lot of people down there, hitting them economically, grabbing them off the streets, deporting them, working with the Supreme Court to, throw the U.S. Constitution out the window. And a lot of that won't sit too well with a lot of Americans. And down there, by constitutional right, they have the ability to carry firearms. And if they carry them, that means they have to be able to use them. In the case of the Kirk assassination, apparently the shot was taken from some 200 yards away. And I'm not a rifle person. I don't know very much about how they work or the ranges or what it takes to make them all come together. But I would think if you could put a bullet through somebody's Adam's apple at 200 yards, you're a pretty good shot. And it also seemed to be somewhat ironic at the point when he was shot in the throat, he was talking about, mass shootings and assassinations in the United States, sort of like what goes around comes around in a roundabout way. At any rate, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we start to see more action coming. If Trump was mad at Chicago and sent the National Guard in there, just think what he's going to do to those places in Utah, Orem and Provo, where the assassination took place. And I've been there. There is no more chance of that being a violent community than there is of finding out there's mass murder happening along Main Street in Stouffville. It just isn't consistent with the general, nature of the neighborhood. I love the community. I thought it was a great place. Anyway, they now have the reputation of what could become the turnaround murder of the Trump administration. And that's what's pissing me off today. I'm Bob Pritchard.